Good morning everyone, welcome to my brand new 2022 productivity desk setup. Since kicking off this year full-time freelancing, I found myself spending over 50 hours a week here at the desk, so having a desk setup that is inviting yet efficient is a must-have in my workflow. Recently, I've been obsessing over desk setup builds and dreamt of creating my very own one day. With this setup, I really wanted to capture that industrial aesthetic by combining dark timbers and rustic elements, but to also make this setup productive and systematic. Now, before we jump into the bits and pieces that I have on my desk setup, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. This just helps me push this video out to other people exactly like you who are interested in desk setup builds. So be sure to do that, and I'll also be leaving links just to all the products that I mentioned in this video, just in case you want to pick something up for yourself. Let's jump into my desk setup. No desk setup is complete without a desk, which is why I opted to get a super popular sit stand desk. Being in front of the computer for at least 50 hours a week is quite a long time to be sitting down at a computer desk, which is honestly why I heavily considered ergonomics for this desk setup. The desk that I'm using is the Desky sit stand desk in the premium walnut finish, which they kindly sent over to me a couple of months ago. I did review this desk in full, so be sure to click up here and check that video out. At first, I was quite skeptical about sit-stand desks in general, and if they would make a significant difference for the price that you pay. And since incorporating this sit-stand desk within my workflow, I don't think I could ever go back. I would highly recommend investing in a sit-stand desk if you have the budget for one, or if you are currently experiencing back pains. But like what I said, be sure to check this video out to see if a sit-stand desk would fit in your workflow. The size of this desk is 1800 by 750 millimeters wide, which is what I find to be the perfect size to fit all of my peripherals on and accessories. One of the key things that I did find to soften up my overall desk setup was the addition of this 100 by 40 centimeter dark wool felt desk pad, which I purchased from Grovemade. I felt that the dark grey colour matched the aesthetic of my setup seamlessly. This desk pad from Grovemade is a flawless design and should definitely be incorporated within your setup. Previously, I have purchased cheaper desk wool mats from Amazon for around $15–20, but this is definitely an upgrade. This leads me to my next item that I have on my desk, which is the extremely popular Logitech MX Master 3 mouse. This mouse is a perfect choice if you are looking at upgrading your mouse, and honestly, the design and the ergonomics of this mouse is just game changing. The mold of the mouse fits perfectly to the shape of my hand, and it's kind of satisfying just to hold. The ergonomics of the MX3 is fantastic, but the features and customizability are equally as important in my opinion. With the option to customize each and every one of the 5 buttons, gives me the opportunity to optimize the mouse depending on what software I'm using. For example, if I simply want to scrub along the timeline of my project in Premiere Pro, all I really need to do is just scroll the side wheel and that will scrub the timeline. Which ultimately, if you're a video editor, this is a perfect feature and speeds your workflow up significantly. I've had no reason to upgrade or swap out my MX3, just solely because it's built like a tank. Onto now the audio. The speakers that I currently have in my setup are the Logitech Z506 surround sound system. I solely use these speakers for listening to music, YouTube videos, or podcasts. It has great output without sounding too tinny and can crank these right up if you're wanting to jam out. These are fantastic speakers with a great price tag of $150. When it comes to audio monitoring, for content creation, I use my Sony WH-CH700N wireless noise cancelling headphones, which packs a punch. By no means are these cheap headphones with a price tag of $300, but well worth it depending on what you're utilizing them for. I've had these for 3 years now and have basically traveled all around the world with them. These have been fantastic headphones, cancelling out those crying babies on the plane. Yeah. The keyboard I am currently using on a day-to-day basis is the Keychron K8 wireless mechanical keyboard. This keyboard has a satisfying amount of clickiness while also having that tactile feel. I opted for the complete RGB backlit keys along with the aluminium frame to give it that polished finish. For the price you pay for this keyboard, you honestly can't complain with what you get. This one with the upgraded aluminium frame and the RGB backlit keys comes in at $100 US, which is around 120 Australian. The main staple for my desk setup and what I didn't spare an expense on was the monitor. This is my 4K 32-inch BenQ SW321C photography monitor. For what I create mostly, which is photography and digital art, I didn't want to spare an expense on a piece of equipment that is basically running my business. This monitor has AQ Color, which is a technology that delivers accurate reproduction, along with uniformity technology for screen-wide color accuracy. It can display 99% of the Adobe RGB color space and 100% of sRGB color space thanks to its IPS technology. The display has an anti-glare coating, which is great if you're in a well-lit environment with windows. With a hefty price tag of 3,200 Australian dollars, it's not a monitor for everyone. Elevating my BenQ monitor up off the desk is the Ergonomic Premium Heavy Duty Monitor Arm. Because the monitor weighs 9 kilos, finding an arm that could support that weight was a little bit tricky. When doing a bit of research, I stumbled across the Ergonomic Heavy Duty Arm, which can hold monitors up to 15 kilos, which is plenty of leeway to support my BenQ monitor. This arm is a gas spring single monitor arm with a plate and 2 thick bolts, which you secure to the edge of your desk. A fantastic feature this monitor arm has is the ability to cable manage with the compartments in 2 locations. Very sturdy built monitor arm with a price of $180. If you're spending a lot of time on the computer or looking at a screen in general, you've probably noticed sometimes your eyes start to fatigue and kind of get a little bit watery. With the help of the Quintus screen and light bar, eye strain and fatigue has been reduced significantly. The Quintus is a flicker-free anti-blue light monitor lamp which has a unique asymmetric optical design that only illuminates your desk and keyboard while ensuring no glare on your screen. It has 4 sensitive touch controls along the top of the bar, including an auto dimming function which is activated when pressing the sun icon. Super easy to install, and to power this entire system is a single USB-C to USB cable. Highly recommend to anyone who is currently experiencing eye fatigue. One of the more expensive items that I have here at the desk and is basically powering the whole thing is my custom built PC. As I mentioned before, sparing an expense on equipment if you're charging clients for your work, I think is a great reason to justify a piece of equipment like this. This is my reasonably spec'd out custom PC. Bear with me while I try and remember all of the specs for this build. This has an AMD Ryzen 9 X5950 16-core processor paired with a Gigabyte GeForce RTX 3090 24GB graphics card. It has a 2TB Western Digital Gen 4 NVMe SSD drive along with 64GB of Kingston DDR4 RAM housed in an NZXT H510i tower case. God damn. If that was all gibberish to you, what I'm basically trying to say is this thing's an absolute beast. I've recently switched over from Mac to PC, and I couldn't be any more stoked on the switch. I honestly wish I would have done it sooner. This thing is a powerhouse for the programs that I use on a daily basis, such as Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and Lightroom, just to name a few. Last but definitely not least, to close out my desk setup, is the BenQ Pro Plus Ergonomic Chair. I did review this chair, so be sure to click up here if you want to learn a little bit more about the chair. With more and more of us sitting for hours at a time, working from home or in the office, without a comfortable chair, you can almost guarantee reduced productivity and, worst case, a trip to the osteopath. The Pro Plus has what feels like unlimited features and customizability, which it kinda does. Having the ability to adjust almost everything on the chair makes it perfect to mold it to your sitting positions. Without having a good ergonomic chair for years has resulted with me having a slight lower back pain. Luckily, I tackled the issue prior to it getting worse and cannot recommend a solid ergonomic chair just like the Pro Plus to integrate into your own workflow. There it is. There is my desk setup of 2022. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. As I mentioned previously, all products that are mentioned in this video are linked down below, so if you're wanting to grab something to add to your desk setup, be sure to check them out. If you have any questions for me, shoot them down below in the comment sections and I'll get back to you. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.